Mentorship has quite literally changed my life. And in this video, I'm going to break down 4 different types of mentorship, how I've applied them, the effects they've had on my business, and how you can do the same. If you're new around here, my name is Chris. I'm an online consultant who helps coaches and info sellers to scale their offers with attraction messaging. So let's jump in. What are the 4 types of mentorship? 1, free mentorship. 2, low ticket mentorship. 3, intentional mentorship or mid-ticket mentorship, and then finally, one-to-one mentorship. So what is free mentorship? Education that is free. It's videos like this, YouTube videos, Instagram Reels, podcasts, free audiobooks. When I started out my journey in the entrepreneurship space, everything that I learned was from YouTube. It taught me how to operate a camera, how to edit, how to create content, and these are the fundamentals that have got me to where I am today. But there are a few cons to the free mentorship as well. It's really hard to find solutions to the problems that are specific to you in free mentorship. If you're having a very specific pixel problem on your VSL, it might not be solved by a free YouTube video. They can also be extremely broad and vague. And a bunch of the people that create long-form YouTube videos are doing a bunch of fancy attention and retention tactics just to try and make their video have a higher watch time, which doesn't necessarily help somebody that's trying to figure out a problem. And finally, it's pretty hard to cut through the noise. Nowadays, everybody on YouTube sounds the same. All the information out there is regurgitated. Nobody has a voice of their own. And as a beginner, it's hard to figure out what's right and what's wrong. So out of the 4 different mentorships, I give free mentorship an intentional score of 6.5 out of 10. As much as I wouldn't be here today without it, it doesn't necessarily solve the problems that I have inside of my business today. And it's probably not going to solve the problems that you have inside of your businesses either. The second form of mentorship, low ticket mentorship. This is books, webinars, maybe even low ticket courses. The pros to this is that it's a low barrier to entry. You can find these everywhere. And they can give you huge insights to people that you aspire to be like. You can also figure out some pretty big problems within your business by just picking up one of these and reading it. But again, it's hard to find the right ones. A lot of books say a lot of the same things. And a lot of books are very tailored towards beginners, especially in the business world anyway. Another problem about reading books specifically, something that worked 20 years ago and did really, really well then, might not have the same impact and effect today. The perfect example is this book, Sell Like Crazy. This is by Sabri Subri, one of the best marketeers, in my opinion, of this generation. A lot of the stuff that he speaks about in here are about funnels and sales, and also as well the different stages of awareness of your pipeline. A lot of it still carries on today. A lot of it I still apply to my business today and to my clients' businesses too. But some of it doesn't necessarily work the same anymore. There's new things like AI that aren't really taken into consideration in the marketing in this book. So if somebody takes every single thing that's in this book word for word and applies it to their business today, they may not receive the same outcomes that they're trying to achieve. And finally, personal note. I fucking hate reading. I have to force myself to read a book. Now, yes, there are gems in some of these books. Sometimes I read them for downtime. Sometimes I read them with the intention of just learning things. But honestly, they're really hard to read. So for me personally, I have to give this an intentional score of 7 out of 10, because when you do find the right books and you read the right authors and you read from people that, actually have things that you want, there is a bunch of value to take. But to find the right one, and to sit and to read through it, not only is it going to take you a bunch of time, but it's also pretty painful, for me anyway. The third type of mentorship is high intention mentorship. This is this stuff, where you part ways with a bunch of money to help solve problems that you're facing from somebody who's already done it. The pros are that you can get direct solutions to the problems that you're facing today. If done correctly, the return on investment with a program or a mentorship like this can be huge. And again, you're getting insights from people that have walked the path that you're trying to walk. But on the flip side, if not done correctly, you can spend $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $6,000 on a course from Hormozi, a program from Hormozi, from anybody, and get no return on your investment. Again, like the books and the YouTube videos, some of the stuff inside of these programs, based on who it is that you actually buy from, is again just regurgitated information. You just become another step in somebody's funnel, and it doesn't necessarily solve a personal situation or problem to you. A bunch of these programs are either packaged like this, they're packaged in group coaching calls, or just in general, just communities. And it's really, really hard to find the specific problems in your business and to get them solved when the person carrying out the program or the mentorship has 50, 60, 100, 200,000 people to cater for inside of the program. I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10 intention score, purely because I did invest 6,000 into Hormozy and I made that money back in the same week. There are so many problems within my business which this gave me so much clarity on how to actually solve them. From somebody that I respect the most probably in this space. I don't think there's anybody that's better at what he does than him. And that's why I invested. And that's why a bunch of other people did too. And then finally, one-to-one mentorship speaks for itself. The pros, you get the problems within your business solved specifically for you. A huge one for me as well is the accountability. I have a one-to-one mentorship program, and where a bunch of my clients find the most value is just by having somebody in their corner to hold them accountable, having somebody there to give them clarity on the next actionable steps. That's something that you can't get from a book. That's something that you can't get from a group coaching program. That's something that you can't get from a podcast, from a YouTube video. You can only get this type of support within one-to-one mentorship. Another reason why I think this is so powerful is that you get real-time feedback. If you're doing something wrong and you don't understand that you're doing it wrong, if your mentor is good enough, which they should be, they can pull you up on that and they can give you real actionable steps on what to do next. This for me is one of the most powerful things. And honestly, it's what changed my life. Before investing into a one-to-one mentor, I had a lack of clarity. Me and my team were swinging and we weren't hitting anything and we didn't know why. And it took somebody who had walked the path to tell us exactly why we were swinging and missing to stop swinging and missing and start hitting. Now, there are a few cons to this, but it depends on how you look at it. The first one being, one-to-one mentorship for the most part isn't cheap. But if you take the right actions, you apply yourself, you listen, and you choose the right mentor, your return on investments can be huge. I spent $10,000 on a mentorship, and I've gone on to make much more than $10,000, specifically from the information that I got, the guidance that I got, the clarity that I got, and also the perspectives that I now have on my business. And again, some of the guys that offer one-to-one mentorship are full of shit. They don't care about you, and you're another number on a spreadsheet. That is a con, and that is a reality of this space. And you have to be really careful when selecting who it is that you work with. The mentor that I invested into, I knew wasn't that busy. I knew wasn't doing 100, 200, 500K months. They were just 3 or 4 steps ahead of me at the time. And that's what benefited me the most. When you invest into a mentor, don't just invest because of their snazzy marketing. Don't just invest because of the numbers that they promote online. Don't just invest because they drive the car that you want to drive. Invest because you can actually tell that they're a good person, that provide value and actually give a shit about the impact that they have, not only on their clients, but even just the people that watch their YouTube videos, their Instagram videos, the people that follow them. If you invest into a mentor that's great at what they do, but they're a dick, you're probably not going to get out of it what you want to get out of it. So just be careful when making that choice. I would obviously have to give one-to-one mentorship a 10 out of 10 intention score. It's what changed my life. It's what changed my business. And it's what's put me in the position now to be able to offer the same services. The final thing I want to say in this video is, if you haven't already started educating yourself, if you haven't already invested into yourself, and you aren't yet where you want to be, drop your fucking pride and seek help. I'm setting myself a literal goal to invest into a new mentor every single year, because there is always somebody that is 1 or 2 steps ahead of you. And if they've gone those 1 or 2 steps ahead of you, you are literally just paying for a shortcut. And as you already know, speed is king. So that's how mentorship has changed my life. If you took any value from this video, make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm documenting my journey to 100K months and dropping source along the way. I'll see you boys at the top. Vamos.